After what has seemed like a drought of decent tower defense games since Plants vs Zombies, we now have two good ones. Dungeon Defenders has been available for iOS since December last year, but has now been released on Steam. It's a cutesy multi or single player tower defense game with third-person action involvement. You play one of 4 child character classes, each with unique abilities and towers or traps or effects. You fight back wave after wave, some would say a tide, of goblins, orcs, archers, ogres, necromancers, etc. from reaching the Eternia crystals, and you gain experience levels by killing enemies, which unlocks better loot, better towers to place on the ground, and allows you to upgrade your hero or your towers for a few points to health, damage, speed, cast rate, attack rate, or range. This review is going to run as something of a comparison because Dungeon Defenders is superficially similar to Orcs Must Die, but they cater to subtly different audiences, and still will even after Robot releases its multiplayer version. Although both Dungeon Defenders and Orcs Must Die are tower defense games with third-person action elements, Dungeon Defenders aligns itself closer to multiplayer experience and item grind fests, while Orcs Must Die offers a short-term action fix with the emphasis squarely on the cathartic destruction of hordes, without stats or items to covet or distract. From a pure gameplay standpoint, Orcs Must Die is a faster and more fulfilling short-term experience. It naturally provides instant gratification given that the process essentially restarts every mission, while Dungeon Defenders has you starting with a slow, plodding hero and gameplay becomes faster after you've dedicated a considerable time to it. This is fine, that's how it's supposed to work. But to be clear, multiplayer aside, and that's a big consideration to put aside, it never gets as fluid or flowing as Orcs Must Die, which I guess could be subclassed as an action tower defense to Dungeon Defenders role-playing tower defense. While the levels within Dungeon Defenders look quite varied, they all play pretty much the same, each with several paths to your crystals over arbitrary stairs for a minimum of 3 choke points. The Orcs Must Die levels look similar, but play differently to encourage experimentation and the usage of new traps unlocked for you after every level, and offers barricades to help define the choke points. It demonstrates the advantage of controlling the variables, allowing for a streamlined single-player experience instead of a multiplayer one that has to be malleable for a larger number of character types and player numbers, which is fine, that's the nature of these different games. Dungeon Defenders is attractive as long as you like the cute cartoony aesthetic. Everything is teeming with character and the levels all look distinctive, although Orcs Must Die has more fidelity and fluidity without the elements derived from Dungeon Defenders' iOS origins. The menus, the pretty aesthetic graphical fudging, the auto-aim, etc. So which to get? They're both cheap, but the choice comes down to how much time you have and what kind of player you are. Dungeon Defenders represents a larger time investment, more about chasing statistics, items, and cute flying kittens, and competing with others, rather than about action-orientated fun or smooshing enemies in an entertaining manner. If there needs to be a winner, Dungeon Defenders takes the trophy for its plentiful content and multiplayer platform. But what content there is in Orcs Must Die is more fun, and I have little doubt that the only ones left playing Dungeon Defenders when Robot releases their multiplayer version, with survival mode please, will be the obsessive number grinders, desperate to perfect character builds and so on. I'm usually one of them, but I need to reduce future time commitments for Skyrim. I award Dungeon Defenders a safe place to put your crystals this time, please.